Hello, everyone, and thanks for joining us tonight here at the Hooligan Alley Hangout with JW Sim. Uh, we're going to have a few guests here with us tonight. First, I'm going to bring on is I'm one thing everyone's going to learn. I murder everybody's name because I'm terrible at names. But Brian Menard, if it's wrong, let me know.
Hi.
Bring you on here, Brian. Oh, I don't know how to do this, so I am going to hold on a second. Where's that? Here we go. All right, now I'm going to start over. Here we go. I'm going to bring you on, Brian. You can tell us a little bit about your project as soon as I can. There we are. All right, I figured it out again.
Great. Thanks, JW. Like he said, I'm Brian Menard with Dojo Coon Comics, and we've been publishing for about 4 or 5 years now. And the project that we're here to talk about tonight is Janice Hardy's The Healing Wars, Book 1, The Shifter. So we are making a graphic novel adaptation of her trilogy of novels. She and I got in contact, and she thought it would be a great idea, and it's been fun to write the scripts to bring her novels to life as a comic book. She's excited about the art, so we put a Kickstarter campaign together, and it's live right now.
All right, thank you. And I'm putting. Oh, there we go. I put your the link in the chat there to that. We also are going to have with us tonight Johnathan Hedrick, and I know everyone screws your name up too. They always want to say Hendrick, right?
Yeah, Hendrick or Hedrick. Yeah, that's it's all. I respond to all of it. That's fine.
Right.
Yeah, but yeah. I'm Johnathan Hedrick, and I'm promoting my Kickstarter right now called Capable. It's issues 1 through 3, and it's basically a superhero concept story where people with disabilities around the world wake up one day with superpowers that are opposite of what their handicap was. So we're fully funded on Kickstarter right now with 6 more days to go, unlocking stretch goals left and right. So we're looking for that extra little push before the end of the campaign. So thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining us. And we also have Michael Oden.
What's up, guys? How we doing?
Who is invisible to us.
Yeah.
How you doing, Mike?
I'm doing pretty all right despite some technical difficulties, but happy to be here. I am bringing two projects to the table. One that we have active right now, which is our Kickstarter for the deluxe edition of Elysian Fields. So that's exciting. We got 17 days left on that and 34% funded. So we any help we can get there is appreciated. And then we also have the mailing list for our upcoming project, The Embrace, on Indiegogo, and that's exciting as well. So yeah, thanks for having me.
Thank you. And then last but not least, Miss Cara Nicole.
That's me. Okay, so my book is called Fire Bitch, and it is about a social media diva who gets accidentally sucked into a vortex and thrown onto an alien planet, getting superpowers, and she has to save, if they can convince her to, this entire alien planet from annihilation from a neighboring alien race.
That's badass.
Yeah,
we have 7 days left. We are fully funded, but now we've got some awesome stretch goals. We got some amazing guest artists, cosplay covers. This book is 36 pages, and it is issue 2. So yeah,
great,
awesome. All right, I'm going to just throw out some questions here, and everyone can answer them. Where did the idea for your story come from? And we'll start with, we'll just start around. Brian.
Well, as I said, this is a trilogy of novels written by Janice Hardy. My fiance and I both read them and got in touch with her because, I'd been publishing comics for a while, and I thought this would be great to adapt. So I can tell you a little bit about the story itself. The protagonist, Naya, is a struggling homeless gal in a country that's occupied by an opposing force. And a lot of the folks in her country are healers. They can absorb the pain from someone and transfer it into this special metal called pinbium. But Naya herself, her ability is flawed, she can only transfer it from one person to another. And she's got to keep that hidden, because if the occupying force discovers she can do that, they're going to weaponize her against her own people.
Wow. That's interesting.
That sounds really cool.
Yeah.
It's a great story. I would say that if I had to compare it to any others that I've read, I would liken it to Hunger Games or Divergent. It's written to a similar audience. What's that?
I like both of those.
Yeah, they're both real good. I know that they were originally intended for young adult audiences, and I suppose this one is too. But like I said, my fiance and I were not young adults, and we found them to be very entertaining.
Nice. All right, Johnathan. I am really, really interested in Capable. I probably have told you this. I myself have a disability, so I just thought that was a really interesting story.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, as far as the idea of it, superhero stories are typically about an outcast of some type. You look at the X-Men and Teen Titans, even a nerd, and then he gained these superpowers. But I like the what if concept of what if the only superpowered people were those that used to have a disability, and what would we see how the world would play out? Because obviously some people are going to be good, some people are going to be evil, especially after living a life of ridicule and being bullied and things like that. So I really wanted to play with all the different types of disabilities that are out there, from just wearing eyeglasses to being an amputee, and what type of powers someone could have that would be opposite of that handicap, and what someone would do right or wrong with those powers. So I think it really opened up a lot of storytelling, and I'm just really excited about where it can go. And I can't make these comic books fast enough. Yeah, I have a lot of storytelling with this one.
Nice. And Cara, about Fire Bitch, where did you come up with this idea?
I have no idea. My husband and I, he's an artist and he draws all the time, and he just doodles and he draws this girl with this fiery hair. And we posted a picture of it online, and we were like, hey, somebody give this girl a name, right? And Mike DeBalfo was like, Fire Bitch. And we're like, yes. And then I just started blurting out all this crap, and my husband's just listening to me. And then like, here come the aliens. And he's just like, what? And then it kind of hit me like, hey, let's tell that story of your superhero. Everyone loves Supergirl and Wonder Woman and Batgirl, but they're never in our world now. Like, what if they did have social media? What if they did have Facebook and Instagram and Twitter, and they were that actual regular person? They're not the kid of a rich person, or born with superpowers. There's nothing wrong with them. They're just normal people who's kind of a entitled brat, and then boom, this happens. And what do you do? How do you get this person to to do the right thing as opposed to the selfish thing?
Interesting. All right. That's yeah. Who didn't we? Oh, we didn't talk to Michael yet.
Yeah, I was about to say, I'm feeling a little left out, guys.
Yeah, I was trying to figure.
No, you're all good. So for Elysian Fields, I guess I'll talk a bit about that because we've got the Kickstarter live right now. So that's the big thing. I grew up, and my bedtime story growing up was the Iliad, and so I always have had this big love of mythology. And so I had always kind of surrounded myself with similarly minded people, and we'd get into those nerdy conversations about who'd win in a fight between so and so and so and so, and it would be like your standard stuff from like comics and films, but we'd also be throwing in our favorite mythological characters. And so this is something that always kind of like stuck in my head, and eventually it came out in this concept of Elysian Fields, or it's a tournament in the underworld between all these different mythologies. Every single god of the dead or what have you has a team of heroic champions from their respective cultures that compete to crown the next lord of the underworld. So that's what we're doing there with Elysian Fields, and it's exciting stuff. We've got, we're following Team Hades. You got Achilles, Heracles, and Theseus going up against all sorts of craziness.
Interesting. I've always been a fan of mythology, so that's right up my like there, like that. This is a weird question. I always like to throw this out, and you each can answer it. If you could be a dinosaur, what would you be and why? So we'll just go back to Michael first since he was last.
Oh man, I'm just gonna go with my childhood favorite, T-Rex.
What a cop out! And why would you be a T-Rex?
I'm sorry. I'm a tall dude. I'm 6'2". It just makes sense.
All right.
Like it's either that or Brachiosaurus, and I don't like having the long neck thing. I want to go kick ass. So T-Rex.
And you don't want to be a vegetarian, is that what you're saying?
Yeah, of course not. Stick to the best.
All
right, Brian, how about you? What dinosaur would you be and why?
My knee-jerk reaction was to say Velociraptor because they're pretty badass. But, giving it some thought, I'm going to go with pterodactyl or pterodon because, fly above all those volcanoes, get away from my, predators. And I'm not 6'2", so flying seems pretty cool.
All right. And Cara?
I would have... So Brontosaurus is always my guy because of that whole mess. And I love that story about that whole situation. However, I would have to say, like, legit, I would be a Triceratops, You got, like, the spikes coming out, the big shield there, I'm vegetarian, just hide behind my shield, and if you come here, I want to stab you.
And how about you? She can protect herself with her horn.
My devil horns and my unicorn, see?
All right. And Johnathan?
I'll go with Stegosaurus. All those cool plates on the back. I think I'd be protected from any carnivorous type of dinosaurs trying to chomp me on my back. They're gonna get a mouthful of plates. So,
all right. Yeah. So obviously we have 4 of the 5 Dinobots. So I guess I have to be the Brachiosaurus. So that way you can have all 5 Dinobots.
Excellent.
All right. We have to have some people here. Let me just let me go. Phil's here. It has been a while, Phil, except for I saw you on a stream the other day. So I last weekend maybe. There was so many of them. Like I said, this whole COVID thing, it makes just one day run into the next. So. Mm-hmm. And Phil also says, Mike.
What's up, buddy? Phil's good people.
Yeah. And there's sorry, my Cara's always popular.
Cara's got some fans. Yep, that's good to see.
Understandably so.
And
oh yeah, no surprise.
Hey, Ash Maddie has a cover on my campaign.
Oh,
great!
We'll have to look at that.
Is it a very?
We're
gonna look at the campaigns here in a little bit. I'll share them all out again. And look, it's my son.
Woo! Hey, Joey.
And of course, sorry, Trish and Mike. They're always
hanging around.
Hanging around. Yep. Oh, let's see. He says, I don't even know what that is. I guess that's how old. Dimetrodon. Does anyone even know what
there's been more dinosaurs since I was a kid.
Yeah, I have no idea. Joey, I have no idea what a Dimetrodon is. I'm sure Joshua does. I don't. I have no clue. If it wasn't on Transformers, I don't know what it is. Right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and share some of the Kickstarters. I'm just going to randomly pick one because I have them all up and I don't know which order they're in. So I'm going to share the screen and we'll let me find the right whichever one I have first. So let's take that out. That's where I got the link from. All right. And I hate this is so hard to do. Like to be here and there. so I can look at everything. But let me see if I can. I'm gonna just bring on Cara so she can help us. And I hit the wrong button.
It's all good, man. There's so many of those things I can't even imagine. I've been on that chair before, and it's honestly intimidating.
It's like, they're all over the place. All right, we're gonna just have me and Cara on, and we're gonna talk about some fire bitch shit, so I can see it. All right. So, wow, you like destroyed that $2,000 goal, didn't you?
Well, we have to try to put our money where our mouth is. You know, we do all the interior art ourselves. I do the colors. Albert does the lines. We do have an inker and a letterer as well. But we really want to show people that we are willing to put this project out ourselves, essentially. So, I mean, we do have so many covers. I'll tell you, the 2,000 doesn't even come close to covering.
Oh, I'm sure, because I've backed this and I've gone through here and I'm like, how can you? There's like, how can you choose which cover you want?
That's why you get them all.
Yeah, well, if I could afford it.
My covers are like Pokemon. Got to catch them all.
Well, yeah. Wow. Okay.
That's a Shikari. We've got 3 from Shikari. So we've got a set of Shikari. They're awesome. Oh, thank you, Trish. I appreciate Trish and Mike. Yeah, totally supportive. That's our main cover. That was Alfred and Tevin, and it's kind of our movie poster cover. So you can see it's got like all the characters.
All the characters.
Yes.
All right. And I guess these are some.
That's some of the black and white pages. It is a full color book, but that's just what we kind of wanted to sneak peek you on.
Nice.
So you can see some of the interior work. Thank you, Phil. I appreciate that. And then, yeah, I mean, we've got, actually, I'm always adjusting and I'm always adding more to it. Yeah. These are some interiors from issue 1. So you can kind of get a sneak peek of issue 1. We also have the ability to add on a special issue 1 with a new cover for this campaign. So if you got issue 1 and you want the new cover, you can get the new cover as well. But if you didn't get issue 1, you can also get it here. And then we'll have more of the issue 1 covers on the CrowdOx.
All right. So is like the issue 1, do you have a tier where you can get issue 1 and 2, or is it just an add-on?
It's just an add-on.
Okay. That's probably why I couldn't find it at first. All right.
So, and then, so then this is our cosplay super pack. So you get all the cosplay covers and the 3 prints.
Nice.
And we've got different, different styles for that. And then I need to add a couple of more bundle pack sets to that. We have the bundle packs, but I just didn't have the graphics up yet. So that one's called Flaming Lips. We name all of our covers.
Nice.
So we also have tons of stretch goals as well. That one's called I'll Be Your Fire Bitch. We have a song called Fire Bitch and a music video that has some of the art from the first book that you can find on YouTube. And we also have another music video called Fire with a song called Fire Goes On. And we wrote these songs, and we will have an album as well. So everyone that backs this campaign is going to get a CD with our music. There are a few covers on there as well of our music from this book.
A CD? Do they still make those?
They do. And we find that a lot of our backers are collectors of these things. And they're not really Spotify listeners. So you're still getting the digital downloads. You'll always get the digital download, but you will have the CD with, the digipack.
Nice. And
so there's
some more other cover.
Yeah, that one's a holofoil cover.
Nice.
And that one's a holofoil cover. And that one, I think that's a holofoil as well. And then we have, so we started off with the cosplay, and then we went into the art that me and Alfred did. That's called Mirror Mirror, and Alfred and I did that when I colored it, and he did that. Your VIP pack gets all of these covers, and so does the producer pack. We still have 2 producer packs left. Friendly Fire, that one was me and Alfred as well. I know you have a lot of people, so you might want to scroll a little faster just because we've got a bunch of stuff. That one's also now this is
I didn't realize it was this long. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of stuff here.
We do have some homage covers. We've got ASM 316. We've got Action Comics #1. Now that one, if you want to stop on that one for a second, that is a jeweled cover. So that one is coming customized with Swarovski crystals. I can never say that right. Swarovski crystals that are placed on all over the cover.
Oh,
and there's a video of that too. So it's holofoil and it's got crystals on it.
wow. Okay.
That one was colored by Sanju, lines by Alfred. Sanju is amazing. That's our ASM 316 homage with Shelby Robertson. So all you Shelby collectors.
Oh, yeah, Shelby.
Mm-hmm. That one's Tevin and Alfred. That one was Antonio D, he's the creator of The Changeling. And we have our music homage covers, and that one's from Cyndi Lauper's She's So Unusual. That's the Ash Maddie.
Oh.
Yeah. Army of Darkness homage cover by Phoebe Zane. Courtney Rose, that's All I Want for Christmas homage. David Harrigan, love David Harrigan. Amazing guy. JT Malloy. We worked with him on Silk Spectre as well. That's his book. Lena Dye. And Lucio Carrillo.
That's the cover that got my stream banned from YouTube tonight. Yeah.
You know, that happened to Niall and Billy Tucci as well.
Yeah. So I'm like, huh?
They got popped from it.
Yeah. I was like, that's crazy.
I know.
Oh, well.
So this is the three from Shikari. And those are all foil. Steph Wilson, who doesn't love Steph Wilson.
Nobody loves Steph. Come on.
That's Wendy Shaner from Naughty Fairies Stripper Assassins. And we're doing a crossover with Naughty Fairies Comic-Con. So if you do both campaigns, then you get a special collector's card.
And then you have all these add-ons.
Oh, yeah. These are all add-ons. We've got prints. We've got books. We've got new covers. So, yeah, we've got... And then the producers get everything. They get all of it. So
nice.
That's Ruben Rosas, Piper, Neto Sen. That's the issue 1 cover. So yeah, we've just got.
And that's a cover that's just available from this Kickstarter, right? It's not the original.
You can't get it, on the other one. These are all the prints we have available as add-ons.
Wow.
And holofoils, regulars, naughty prints.
Right,
So, and then a bunny.
the pillow.
Not giving you the pillow. You got to get your own pillow because I'm not shipping that shit. But that's a pillowcase. So see, you've got like the nice side for when your mom comes in, and then when she leaves the room, you flip it over to where she's naked. And you can get our t-shirt, our 183-degree t-shirt. Stretch goals.
Tons of them.
Magnets, collector's cards. We've got a collector's card box. We've got, at 500 backers, we've got a lenticular card by Daniel Gransall. We also have our own 183-degree pen.
Wow.
We've got a print that is a crossover with Totally Rad. The Fire Turd pin, the Beat Last campaign. And then I threw in a Christmas postcard as well. So everyone's going to get this postcard that's after this. So they're going to get that postcard.
And we still have 2 stretch goals we haven't reached yet.
No, we beat that.
Okay. You haven't updated it yet. Okay.
Well, I have it on here. I just need to make a small one and put it on that. This is the one this is the last goal we met.
Oh, okay.
So, and that's the soundtrack down there. And then we also have our links to our music videos on YouTube.
All right. Let me come back. All right. Wow, that is a lot of stuff.
It's a lot of stuff.
Are you managing that all yourselves?
Yeah. We do have help. We have our warehouse manager, Shannon Glarnow, who helps us with all that, as well as Lisa Malone. She does a lot more virtual stuff, but
she's the one who got in contact with me to have you on the show.
So she's been such a blessing, and she helps with making my appointments and double checking things online, doing some graphic work, that sort of thing.
Wow. That's a lot of stuff. I'm overwhelmed with mine where I have 2 12.
We launched this right after we finished shipping the 2021 calendar. So yeah, it was, and my goal for this campaign is to get 800 backers. Last time we ended up with like 600. So I'd love to get 800 backers. Sharing is caring. Tell all your friends. It's been really hard because they don't want to promote something called Fire Bitch, which I don't understand why. It's a bitchin' good time.
Wow. Okay. So, but I just want to look at. I'm so low.
Thanks, Trish. Thank you for backing us. Yay.
I am terrible. I can't read those on this little screen. That's why I bring them up here so I can read them. Yes, we backed you and you all, Jim, Wendy, you, James, so far. Yeah. Trish and Mike are great. Yeah.
Oh yeah, they're fantastic.
Yeah, they I think they back everything. They share everything. It's you can't believe it. But I'm gonna go ahead and bring on Brian. I'm trying to figure out how to get rid of that. Oh, there we go. And bring his on. So bring Brian back. Hey, Brian.
Okay, that's going to be a really hard act to follow, I got to say.
I couldn't believe there was that much stuff. I just like randomly picked one. I was like, okay, what's the next one I have? So we're going to go ahead and bring up Brian's book here if I can find it real quick. I just have so many things open. And there we go. And again, because I was sharing the links, I have the wrong things up. All right. So let me bring this. Everyone can see it.
You can see we're off to a bit of a slow start. We've got 11 backers so far, but we did just start this week. We've got a lofty goal. But the shifter is an entire novel, so it's going to be over 150 pages. And right there is a sample of some of the art that you can see from Zilson Costa out of Brazil. The colorist is H.D. Tobalina in Spain. And my letterer is from Argentina, Matthias Zeteni.
Wow. So it's an international a book, really.
Right. I love working with people around the world. I've got folks from Russia, New Zealand, Italy, Brazil, Argentina, Canada. It's great to get in touch with all these folks and work together on a project like this.
Yeah. I just want to know, why did you decide to take it such a long campaign?
Oh, why for 60 days?
Yeah.
Well, that's because I knew that we were going to go for the $30,000 goal, and I wanted to give it time to reach the masses, as it were. Trying to do that amount of money in a short period of time, I thought was foolhardy. On the other hand, also too, there is a matter of getting the license to adapt this novel into graphic novel form. So there's a deal with the author of the book. So there's a lot that went into getting this as an opportunity. And this, I was telling you, James, before the show started that, I've published for a while now. I've got 12 books out there already that I didn't crowdfund. I did those on my own. This one here, though, as you can see, is a bit much. I think that in a lot of cases, creators really ought to have the book done or really close to done before doing their crowdfunding. But in this case, I really need the help of the backers to get to this level of quality and this many pages.
Yeah, that's a long book. You say it's 160 pages?
It's going to be close to 160. So I was able to pay for some sample pages to get done and the cover so that folks could see the talent that's on the book and hopefully get excited about it. Right there, those are the three novels. Yep, The Shifter is the one that's being adapted right now. And then Blue Fire and Darkfall, after the success of this one, will follow right on the heels of that one.
Nice. And I guess this is some of the art.
Right.
I like the puzzle piece thing. That's different.
Yeah,
as an artist myself, like that, I always am interested in how people put their pages together. I just think that's an interesting look.
This was a great idea from the artist. Yeah, he took my idea that these 6 panels were going to show her progression through that day and the troubles that she faced, and he decided to make it a puzzle piece, and I couldn't be happier. That was a
Yeah.
great idea.
That is very unique. I like that. All right, and I'm just trying to scroll down through here. I guess did I already miss? Oh, I was looking for the pledge levels, and so here we go. So you start out with like a $5 one. That's just usual, and then $10 for the digital.
For the digital, yep. I know a lot of folks out there are starting to go digital, or maybe for folks overseas who don't want to pay the shipping, they've got an opportunity to see the book.
Yeah.
The $25 level is very popular on most campaigns, and that's the one where you get the digital and the print copy.
And that's actually for 160 pages.
Yes,
That's a pretty good deal right there. $25. I mean, most of the time, you just find a regular 20-page floppy, and you're looking at $10 to $15 easily on Kickstarter. So that's actually a pretty good deal right there.
I'm hoping that that's a good draw. You're right.
Yeah. And what's this? The Shifter Naya reward tier.
So for the Shifter is the main protagonist, and you'll get extra prints with the digital and print copies. So there'll be a print of Naya. In fact, that's it right there by Zilson Costa. And there's going to be a print of the main antagonist and her friend Danello.
Nice. Then,
for the You Are a Shifter tier, you'll get a pinup of you and Naya.
oh, okay.
So we'll have the artist. There's 100 of those available. The artist will draw you as one of the shifters.
That's interesting. And that'll be what size? That'll be a print then?
That'll be a print size, yes, like a postcard. Be a Citizen of Gevig. That one there is a cameo. You are drawn into the story. So
I found those actually do pretty well usually. Like I have a couple of those on my campaign. I've actually, I think 2 or 3 of them I've actually sold on my campaign.
Yeah, that's a fun one. We do have one backer that's already chosen that reward tier, so that's good. I've got a number of scenes that will be conducive to this, and it's another reason why, for example, we don't have the pages done yet because we've got some people to draw.
Yeah, that's.
And then the Grand Duke of Basir, you get autographed copies, and a champion sweatshirt with the image of the graphic novel cover on the shirt.
And then
we've got one add-on opportunity, and that's to get a chibi sticker of the 5 main characters of the novel.
Nice.
And then one stretch goal, the Dojo-kun Comics shirt. But it's specific to this campaign. It's the Spartan green. The one I'm wearing is black. So this is the only place you can get the green one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then for the first 100 backers, you get this ash can. So it's going to be 12 pages. And then for
heck, I know some books that are 12 pages.
Right. And we are going to randomly select some folks from the $45 tier that will get the ash can as well.
And
here's the talent. That's Zilson Costa, the artist, HG from Spain, and then Matthias from Argentina. Now, in addition to that, Rusty Gilligan, who's pretty well known.
Rusty.
Yeah, Rusty, former child television star, former WWE wrestler, but lately he's been working in comics. He's a good friend of mine. He helped with logo development on the Shifter and helped me with some of the crowdfunding campaign building. So kudos to Rusty. We appreciate his assistance.
We have a lot of time left on this one. So
yes. Yeah, just started this week, and if you can spread the word, it's greatly appreciated. And if you consider backing, you won't be disappointed.
Yeah.
Knowing that I've got 12 books out there already, you can pledge with confidence that this will be fulfilled.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to come back. All right. There we go. I'm gonna just check out some of these because I see I got behind on the comments. So there's oh no,
Uh-oh.
Russ is here. Nah, either if he comes in or Steph, the whole thing's gonna fall apart. That's
And so is he one of the hooligans?
Oh yes, most definitely. Let's see what he asked. He goes, Cara, why did Alfred shave his mohawk? It was so extreme.
It all fell out from stress.
I can identify.
All right.
I did it while he was asleep.
I'm gonna bring the other two on, and we're gonna talk a little bit, and then I'll get to your two books. So we're not like having his wait around all night. So,
Cheers.
let's see. What's it say? Trish says, "What's your book about? Have not heard of it, please, and thanks for sharing." Who were you referring to, Trish? If you could let me know, because I have no clue. I bet you I'm probably was Brian, and we just answered it. I'm just gonna guess. What's he say? Beat right back. All the hamsters are loose at the con. Wendy Steenshainer will kill me if I lose Squeaker. I suspect Joshua Maine set them loose to make his Facebook jail escape.
I think that's probably true. Very, very true.
And distraction, that's what it is.
It's a distraction, so he could sneak back into Facebook. That's what it is. And Mark's here. And Trish, the last book. So yeah, so she asked the question and we answered it without even seeing the question. That's what we tried to do there. That's how good we are. We just but I had a couple other questions as I was going through this. I wanted to ask Cara, you said you color your own books. Did you learn on your own, or did you have did you like me and just go onto YouTube and watch a bunch of videos and figure it out?
Well, Alfred gave me a lot of direction. I've learned from other people. So it's just been kind of everywhere. Alfred was really kind of like my main direction. I learned a little bit from a few other creators as well. A lot of it is, figure it out, play with it until you get it right, learn from other creators, try to copy certain things, always getting new tips, and then take what you like of everything and, work it to what you like best and what you're comfortable with.
Sounds sort of like me. When I started out a couple years ago, I had no idea. I've never used Photoshop or anything in my life. And I tried to color a comic book, and it was not the best.
What are you using? Are you using Photoshop?
Now I'm using Photoshop. But when I first started out, I didn't touch. Actually, the first book I did it in GIMP. If anyone knows what GIMP is.
Oh, you're breaking my heart.
Yeah. So I still have that on my store, but I don't ever tell anybody to buy it.
I started with Photoshop, and then I switched over to Clip Studio, and I about choked a bitch. I was just to relearn everything in a whole. But I'll tell you, Clip Studio is much, much faster. There's a few things that it's missing from Photoshop, but you can go back and forth. Photoshop files will open in Clip Studio, so
nice.
It's much faster in Clip Studio.
Oh, and I'm sorry. I don't know what it is. My throat today has been terrible.
Is it COVID?
It's COVID. That's what it is.
Oh goodness.
We put our masks on.
The Rona.
I know I asked you before the show, but I don't know if anyone else who's watching wants to know about the date that the second issue of the recount is coming out. So if you're allowed to share that information.
Yeah, the final order should have already been put in. So February 17th is when recount number 2 is on sale in stores. So if you're, I believe FOC has already passed to order it from Diamond, but if anyone's interested in ordering it, have your comic book store contact Scout directly, and Scout will ship you to your comic book store that way.
All right. We got a question from my son here. Let's see. Says, do any of you have any advice on how to promote a comic? I have been working on one for a while now, and I am thinking of making it public. Now, my son's a senior in high school, and so he's just, really getting into all of this. So he wants to know if anybody has any idea how to promote a comic. I guess he means
tell people about it. You got
I was about to say it's just a lot of legwork. Like it's not anything. There's nothing specific that you can do outside of you look for these kinds of shows. You look for everything that you can. You hop on when you can, where you can, promote the hell out of it, and join there are a whole bunch of Facebook groups for indie comic creators. Join those. Spread out through social media. It's a drag, but it's how you get to your audience, especially right now without conventions and what have you. Digital is the way that you're going to get this out to people for now. So just it's a lot of tedious stuff, but the more that you do, the more that it gets out there, and that's honestly what you need, especially when you're starting off as someone that's only really gotten into this game from the past year and has had 2 campaigns fund with over 8K. So that's just, it's what you got to do is you got to go all out and go on any show that you can.
I got to say that I've seen Michael, who was just talking, I've seen him on a lot of streams, and I got to up my game and get out there like he does. He's right, though. The more streams you can get on, whether you're a guest or just in the chat, make sure that you connect with folks that are in the industry. They'll give you great tips and advice, and they'll help you not only to get your name and brand out there, but they'll also give you tips on how to build your campaign, what kind of perks and add-ons sell well and that they've done before. Probably a great resource is sitting right there between me and James, because she's been fully funded for a while now, and that's great to see. So take some open campaigns like Cara's, for example. Scroll down, look at all of the things that are offered there. It's really a great example of all of the opportunities you can have. And you can skip or include the naughty. I'm sure the naughty helps sell, but at the same time, there's a lot of that stuff that she has available that it reaches all audiences and looks fantastic. So
yeah, it's not like his father doesn't make comic books, so I don't know what he's doing. But
hey, kids don't want their parents' advice.
Exactly.
Right.
You know how that goes. Nobody wants to hear your parents say something. That's not cool. You talk to your parents' friends because they're cool for some odd reason.
But my main advice is really to Cara has all those covers, but she wouldn't have any of those if she wouldn't become part of the community, get to know those artists, and have a relationship with them.
But if you look at my other campaigns, if you look at my cosplay campaigns, there are no other artists. I've run campaigns that are just my work, that are just me and Alfred and our stuff with no other artists, and they have more than funded. So yes, you want to branch out, you want to work with people, and that's great. But at the end of the day, it's you. It's your work. It's your name. And I find a lot of times new people, they get really excited and they run out there and they say, look, I got this new thing. And then when it doesn't hit right away, oh, this is stupid. And they throw it away. Or, oh, I'm busy. And that is what, honestly, with people that want to do this work, that drives me the craziest. Oh, well, I put out my new comic. Hey, what's going on with your new book? Oh, well, I got busy and I got tired. And so, no. If you don't think enough of your product to be on it every day out there and talking about it, excited about it, then your product's going to die. Your project is not going to happen. You can't just put it out there for 5 minutes, get bored with it, and put it in the closet and then come back later. You can do that while you're building it, as far as creating it and, taking your time off or whatever. But once you're out there pushing it, You have to stick it out. And you know, and I see that so much that people will be like, oh, I'm going to put out my new project, got this new story. And they don't want to put in their own money. They want everyone else to do it all for them. Oh, I've got an idea. I just need a writer and an editor and an artist. And idea. And, you know, you'll get paid once it's funded. Well, what are you putting into this?
Yeah.
You know, learn how to write, learn how to edit, learn how to do some of these things. And put yourself out there as well, because what happens when someone draws half your book and you decide that your hamster died and you have to go take care of that for 8 friggin' weeks? Like, no, that's not how this works. Or I don't like Facebook. Too damn bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
no,
I don't really do that. Well, then you don't really do this. You know, I don't. There's a lot of social medias that I really loathe working on, but I do it. You know, you got to do it. Also, likes don't equal money. Likes don't equal funding. Likes don't equal shit.
Oh, yeah, I mean, I can tell you a story about Omni. The writer is L.C. Holt, which some people know, some don't. He's been in movies and things. Like, he's a horror guy, and he's the writer for Omni. And when I launched the first 3 years ago, I figured, well, he's got thousands of followers. I just got to put his name on it and put it out there, and it's going to fund. And nobody from his side came over because they don't cross, like, you know, you have horror people. They're not technically superhero fans, so they don't like cross-pollinate, you know. And I learned a hard lesson that I have to go out and do it. So
it also depends on how active those people are with their community.
Yeah.
Like, you can have 1,000,001 likes, but if you're not doing constant outreach to your fan base, that doesn't really count for anything.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, like as Cara was just saying, if you're not on the social media grind all the time, dude, every single time that I get on Twitter, I feel like I need to put on a hazmat suit. It is freaking gross. But guess what? A lot of people who like comics are on Twitter, and you get that out there, and they share the hell out of it. And so, yeah, you got to suffer through it. And it's one of those things where it can be super unpleasant promoting sometimes. As I said, it gets very tedious, it gets very monotonous, but it's part of this industry. Because, and especially right now, and especially as an indie creator, we don't have conventions to go to at the moment. Hopefully that changes in the next year. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. And outreach is everything. Because at the end of the day, we don't have necessarily the same resources that these companies in the mainstream have, where they've got whole PR teams and marketing teams that handle all of their social media and everything for them. No, we got to do that ourselves. Everything that when it comes down to promotion of your book is on you at the end of the day. You cannot rely on anything. You know, we had for when we did the Elysian Fields Pyramid Gambit campaign on Indiegogo, and I was very happy to do it. We did a support our troops package. We were partnered with the Special Forces Charitable Trust, and we raised $450 for them, which was great. But like, at the end of the day, you look at that organization, and they technically, when you look at the likes, 14,000 people. But you're lucky if you can even tap into 0.001% of those people. You're lucky if you can.
That's right.
You cannot rely on any of that stuff. It's all about you going out there and getting people to look at your project. And so you've got, as I said, the best way to do that is going on to streams like this, talking with other creators. You know, who's to say that one of these people that you're on a panel with won't be like, hey, I really liked your campaign. I'm going to include your link in an update just to promote you, just to give you a few more eyes your way, because that is just as valuable as throwing dollars at it. Because at the end of the day, every single person that's on that panel has an established audience. If they have funded a campaign, they have people that believe in them, that commit to their that have committed to their product. So if they give their stamp of approval to your project, that is just as valuable. And that's another big thing, is it's like, you know, that's another big part of the promotion game, is getting onto these streams, meeting other creators, and building your network.
Exactly.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
If you don't believe in you, why should anyone else believe in you?
Exactly. Like, oh, excuse me. Yeah, I mean, it's sometimes it's a pain to have to get out there and push your own stuff constantly and constantly and constantly. Like you feel like you need a break from it, but if you're not going to push it, nobody else is going to.
Sometimes I find I wonder if I keep putting it out there and keep putting it out there, am I pestering people? Are they getting tired of seeing it? But you know what?
No.
At the end of the day, the people who do back you understand why you're doing that. And who knows, maybe that's the day that you'll get a new set of eyes on it who says, "Oh, what's that? I'm going to check that out." Because you never
Especially
know
on
who you can
Facebook,
reach yesterday.
You could post the same thing every day on Facebook, and it's probably going to go to different people every day. Because
it could very well. Yeah.
I mean, there's things that people post. I might not see it for 3 days from now. Like, I don't understand how it goes. So,
if you're on the phone comes up 3 days later. The computer will come up as today. Like this happened 8 minutes ago, and then the phone 3 days ago. It's so odd.
Yeah, it's bad. So, I share. Like, I try to share my stuff every day, at least maybe a little update, or if I have new things. Like right now. One of the first things we unlocked was a set of 3 trading cards, which I'm actually designing myself. So they're not like art I'm stealing out of the comic and putting on the trading cards. Mm-hmm. So it takes me I can't do all 3 of them at a time. So every couple of days I'm releasing a new card saying, hey, here's this card that you unlocked or whatever. Sure. And if you haven't backed yet, or if you just backed as digital and you want these cards, become a physical backer and you get them for free. So that, so I'm not just putting the ad out there like, hey, back this, but I always try to add some one of the pledge levels, or if I have new things I want to show everybody, I just share that. So it's not just getting bombarded with that picture from the link every time.
Well, I believe it's also, especially now, this is an economy and it's more than us. So the more money we make, that's the more jobs that are being created. I know that when I hire an artist, that artist is now getting paid, not because of me, but because of you, because you guys supported my campaign. And now I hired that artist, that letterer, that inker, that flatter. There's so many people think it's just, oh, you just draw in color. No, there's so many people all over the world that rely on this. It's not just me and Alfred. People think, oh, you guys are making all this money. No, we've got our warehouse manager. We've got the Gemini company. People don't know that. The Gemini boxes that a lot of comic creators ship their packages, that's a small family business that created this specialty box just for shipping comics. And
now everybody who ships comics uses that box.
Yeah, it's an
great package. Yeah.
But it's a small family company. Yep. And so we're supporting them. We're keeping these businesses alive. We're keeping our flatters. People don't realize there is somebody that literally their job is to fill in the lines of your art.
And as a colorist, I think a flatter has the hardest job of anybody.
They do. They are the most valuable resource.
Oh my God. Because I do it myself, like on my own stuff, but it's so painstaking. Like, I think it's harder to flat than it is to draw, because an artist, when you're drawing and you want to put like little dirt or rocks, that's just well, now the flatter has to come in and go over all of your lines, like practically redrawing the page, just add color to it.
Exactly. So that flatter is invaluable. So the printer, people don't realize, they think we're not going to Kinko's. Like, there are printers that they specialize in.
Speak for yourself. I'm going to Kinko's.
Are you going to Kinko's?
No, I'm not.
Is that still a place?
I'm completely
bullshitting.
But we use printers that are local as much as we can, that know this stuff. Call a printer that doesn't specialize in comics and ask them about Hollow Oil, and they're going to say, what? I don't know what that is.
A couple of years ago, I was trying to use a local printer. It was like this print place, and I sent them my stuff. They wanted to charge me like $20 some a book. I'm like, the book only costs $5 a piece. I can't pay $20 to print it. But they're not set up to print comics like
they don't know.
Yeah.
So and the comic book printers, the majority of the time, are smaller print shops. So like you guys are helping keep all of these people's dreams alive. They're putting food on their table and paying for their kids, school pictures and and all of these things. So, don't just think of it as I'm buying this comic book. You're contributing to an economy of small businesses and people who are trying to live their lives and put out something for everybody. I mean, it's so massive when you think about it in that perspective.
This is great. You're making it sound heroic. I love it.
It's one of the beautiful things about Indy, and Cara's right, 100% is that at the end of the day, this is an economy of people that are passionate about this medium. You've got like I'm sure everyone here has printers that they swear by and use, and all of them are either locally they're either local to your area, or you were referred to them by another creative that uses them, because they are not big corporate printing shops. They're people that understand how expensive this is, and they give good rates. And so us doing business with them helps them out as well. Like it's honestly, that's kind of the beauty of it. And it does create several jobs. Every single time that somebody puts up a new variant, that's another artist that got a payday, and that might be helping them pay their bills that month. You don't know. And it really is one of the awesome parts about this. My main artist for Elysian Fields is from Brazil, and when we were doing our first book was during the beginning of everything that happened this past year, and like he was desperate for work, and Brazil is no picnic. And so me keeping him on payroll to keep drawing the book and consistently paying him made sure that he could put food on his table for him and his daughter while all the craziness was going on down there. So like it's genuinely one of those things that's awesome about working in this industry, is you don't know just how much getting that person the work is actually helping them, and it's a pretty humbling thing when you kind of get to realize it from that spectrum or that scope.
Yeah. Trish said, you are a comic person, your own PR person. The more personable, the more we back. Didn't know Cara until 2 months ago, and anything her and Alfred do, we are going to back and wave the fire bitch flag. Same with Jim Noble, or even Henri. I always mess up his last name, Copen. And the friendlier, the better. Yeah, I'm terrible at names. I had 2 brain surgeries in the last 4 years, so I'm lucky I can even.
I'm terrible at names, and I didn't even have brain surgery.
Well, then what's your excuse, Cara?
Shit, short term. It's all good.
It's not that blonde people are dippy. It's the peroxide eats our brain cells.
That must be it. All right. We're gonna go ahead and talk about Johnathan's book now. I always want to say the disabled, and it's capable. I don't know why I get them confused.
Capable. Yeah, get it. Cape as in a superhero cape. Capable.
Cape. That's how I have to remember it.
That's really nice. That's super wholesome, man. I dig it.
Thank you.
So, let's go ahead and bring that up. If I can figure how to do it and not mess it up, we'll be okay. There. Is it showing? Yeah,
yes.
There it is. Okay.
Yes. So this is the second Kickstarter I've run for Capable. The first one was earlier in halfway through 2020 for issues 1 and 2. One thing I'm really super proud of on this campaign is that it's my first out of 4 or 5 Kickstarters that Kickstarter made called it a project we love. I noticed Cara's project got that too, so congratulations. That's a huge thing because they promote your stuff more that way. You know, you're found first. You know, you're in the emails and all the updates. So that was a big win for me on this campaign. In addition, you know, there's still 5 days left, and it's my highest backed Kickstarter. It's funding and the amount of backers. So really happy with that. Considering it's an issue 3 as well. You know, we see a lot of number 1s on Kickstarter, and then we never hear from them again. So yep. So again, the concept of this story is that one day people with disabilities wake up with superpowers that are opposite of what their handicap was or is. So yeah, that's the cover of issue 1 by interior artist Gino Casmianto, who's from Indonesia. Like Brian said, that you know it's an international piece of work here to make some of these comic books globally. You know, when I first talked to Gino and I sent him the first check to PayPal to start drawing this for issue 1 back in early 2019, he was like, "Thank you. I'm gonna take my family out to dinner and buy groceries, and if there's any money left over, we're gonna go see the Joker movie." And I'm like, "Wow." Back to the subject of it being an economy. You know, it thrills me that I can help him too, and us come together and make a product together.
Yeah. Wow.
So yeah, that's our main character, Derek Davidson. That's the focal point of this entire series. He was in a wheelchair, and that after this event, that mysteriously happened all over the world. Now he's a speedster, like the Flash or Quicksilver. So he goes from not being able to use his legs to the complete opposite, and that's the main theme of this story. So that's issue 2.
I really liked these, like how he's in the wheelchair and the shadow is the cape, and here like where he's running and the shadow is the wheelchair. I mean, that's
what was really important to me is it would be easy to lose the theme of this series really quickly if I don't keep on going back to that. These characters were disabled at one point, and that it drives the character story. They're not all of a sudden happy-go-lucky people with superpowers. So it's important that I keep that on point in every single issue. So there's a link to Spinwiz Comics if you want to read the first 2 issues for free. By all means, check them out there. So this is the cover of issue 3. This is the love interest, Erin. The end of issue 2, there's kind of like a cliffhanger on what her power is. So we learn more about what and there's a little tease on her shadow as well, of the superpower she gained, and all these characters, they don't have the same reaction with their superpowers. It doesn't solve their problems in life. This is a variant cover by a local artist to me here in Melbourne, Florida. His name is Dominic Perosi. He always does variant covers for me, and he has a huge following. I always have him at the tables with me when I sign locally, and more people come out for him than me. So
that's gonna make you feel good, right?
Right. So they come to his table, they bring a bunch of blank comic book covers. They commission him to do something, and maybe they'll buy whatever book I'm promoting at that time.
They're like, "Dominic, why do you always bring this guy with you?"
Right. So yeah, all of his covers is like the issue 1 for his cover. I don't have a picture. You might see it in the rewards, but issue 1 for Dominic's cover was a destroyed handicap parking spot, and then issue 2 was a destroyed short bus. Issue 3 is now a broken pair of glasses. So the theme of his covers is taking something that's identifiable to the handicap community and twisting it.
Oh, I thought this was going to be an homage cover. This is great.
Yeah, this is a homage cover to Flash number 123 by Carmine Infantino, the Flash of Two Worlds. Since our main character is a speedster, I thought it'd be clever to have him on the cover twice, once as him in the wheelchair and once as a speedster, to show like the parallel of him as he still has the mindset that he is identifies as a disabled person, but now has superpowers. So Dirk Grob is the artist that did this cover. He's a fantastic local artist to me, so I was really thrilled to have him do the Kickstarter cover. And there's some interior pages of issue 3. Show you some samples. Get introduced to a bad guy in the series, someone that
I was just going to ask you that, like, who was, you have these heroes. What's like kind of.
Well, issue 2, we saw someone robbing a bank that was a army vet who lost his arm during his service, and his power is he gained this huge like cybernetic arm, and he's robbing a bank because of not getting the money he should have got as a disabled veteran. So there's again, going back to the theme is people aren't going to do what's right, but there's a reason why they're not doing this, and it's because of their lives as people with disabilities.
Yeah, makes sense. Yeah, because not everybody's gonna have the same life, kind
right.
of. Like,
yeah. So yeah, he's in high school. It's a very. I always tell people, if you liked that Robin series by Chuck Dixon in the 90s,
yeah.
That was one of my favorite comic books growing up. So I'm trying to channel the voice in that comic book into this one. It's a very high school themed, but for mature readers as well. We don't dance around the kids. When I was a teenager, I cussed.
Yeah.
I would say
probably more than you do now, right?
Oh, yeah. We got creative. I'm pretty sure we invented some vulgar words. So yeah, a lot of people come to my table at cons and signings, and they're like, "Oh, my 7-year-old student would love this book." I'm like, "Oh, before you hand that over, let me point out some dialogue in here."
Yeah.
So definitely for mature readers.
What about immature readers?
Immature readers will definitely love this.
So all of us on this panel tonight should be getting this book.
Absolutely, yeah. So
everyone watching should get it too.
Yeah, yes, of course.
Back
that goes without saying. But.
Now we're going into the creative team. That's me bragging about myself and my other work. There's Gino. He's the interior artist. He pencils and inks.
He has a nice clean area.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
And he's traditional too. He's not doing this digital. He tells me, he's like, I got to go to the store and buy some more paper. I'm like, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's our colorist, Priya Pillay, and he's very talented. I mean, he's worked for Dynamite. He gets work. That guy's busy. I'm thrilled when he reaches out to me. He's like, "Where's the next issue?" I'm like, "Oh man, you're right. I need to write that so I don't lose you."
I need to write that. Let me.
Yeah. That's my letterer, Jerome Gagnon.
Jerome, the letterer of everything.
Yes. Yeah. He's new to Capable. This is his first issue with full issue with Capable. I was able to pull him in between projects, which he's very professional person to work with.
Yeah, I've worked with Jerome on Broke Down and on Cthulhu. So.
And I was on Cthulhu too. I did the Tin Man story.
That's right. Yeah. So. And
that's there's Dominic. There's that issue 1 cover with the smashed.
Okay.
Parking spot. Yeah, and he does all my variants for my books. So that's Dirk. He did one of the main covers for Cthulhu as well.
Yeah.
He's got another project coming out soon called Final Growth. Yeah, so we got a $3 digital copy if you just want the first issue. There's the digital bundle. All 3 of them. 10 gets you the
physical
main copy, physical of the main cover, or 10 if you want Dominic's cover.
That's right. Brian's book for 160 pages is what, $25. So I said that's a deal, because most times
Yeah.
Physical copies of just a floppy is $10-15.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to go any cheaper. And I tell people, yeah, sure, it's only $4 for a Marvel or DC book, but think about who you're supporting. Your support is
they
going
have-
a lot further.
Yeah.
Yes, thank
They
you.
have billions of dollars.
Take it one more step further. A lot of independent books and even mainstream books are becoming collector's items. There's a huge market on eBay. I'm seeing books on eBay that are currently in Kickstarter that have not been even shipped yet. The Kickstarter campaign isn't even done yet. That stuff's up on eBay. And remember,
Exactly.
our printers, yes, they cost a little bit more. We're not paying 25 cents, 50 cents a book. We're paying more for that. But our printers understand that we need those 9.8, 9.9,
Yeah.
Yep.
for grading purposes. This is not just, you've got your digital copies, you've got your reader copies, but these books are collector's items. They're legitimate art pieces as well. And they're being treated as such in the market out there. So someone can buy your book and turn around and flip it for 3 times the amount. And I always tell people, come to me directly. It's so hard for people to be like, oh, can I send you all my stuff and have you sign it? It's like, if you just bought it from me, it would have been cheaper and I would have signed it.
Exactly.
It is more. This is not just a book. These are art pieces, and there is a collector's market out there for it.
Yeah,
For sure.
no doubt.
Yeah. So you can get all 3 of the main covers for $30, plus the digital copies and all the stretch goal rewards as well.
I believe that's the one I did because I came into this late, so I needed to catch up.
Yeah. We did have a $20 first week catch up one.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's all Dominic's covers.
Oh, that's cool.
And it goes back to that question about promoting. Dominic has his own following. I get people that come on and they're just friends and family of Dominic. They want to get that one, and then they move on because it's him.
Yeah.
That's part of the promoting. Dirk's cover, we had that one half off for the first week of the campaign. It was only $25 plus shipping. Again, the collector's item. I'm only going to print what I need for this campaign, and that's it. And then it's gone. Then it gets picked up by a publisher. They don't get that cover. Just that simple.
And there's just
all 3 covers for issue 3. And then I still have a few covers of a Kickstarter covers for issues 1 and 2. So I'm only allowing that to be sold through Kickstarter campaigns. So there's only 2 of these available, and that gets you all 3 of the Kickstarter covers.
nice. See, there's a collector's thing. You can get those on Kickstarter. So.
Then there's the collector bundle, every single cover for Capable. Then I threw in a creator bundle, so you get some of my other work beyond Capable, with like the Recount and Freak Show Princess, and I'll throw in a 9.8 CGC slab signed comic book by me, guaranteed.
And that is a first print of the Recount.
Yes, yep. You will get a first print copy of the Recount, the one that's sold out.
Yeah.
And someone recently backed the $500. Only one for this tier, drawn into Capable number 4, and they get all the covers too, and the digital rewards. So I messaged that person. I said, please don't be a jerk and back out.
I'm always afraid to do that because I had somebody very early in my campaign take like the top tier. And I'm like, please don't let this be one of those people who like back out in the last minute or like never pay you for it.
It's definitely a risk, and I don't count. That's why we have our stretch goals. We don't start coasting once we hit our funding goal. We keep going beyond that, because what if this person's credit card fails, or they have some dire strait around the time that it's time to pay for the reward. Please, I'd rather than take that money and put food on the table for their families. But I also need to fund my project as well. So that's why we push beyond our funding goal. Oh, and I have
some retailer.
I have 2 different retailer tiers. I did a light version this time, because for those retailers that backed me before that may have a few copies or still left over for Capable 1 and 2, they can back 15 copies and they can just get all of issue 3, 15 copies of issue 3, or if they want 5 of each, 1 or 2, they can mix it up as many as they want, up to 15 copies.
Nice.
And
so
then,
they don't have to get 5, 5, and 5, so they could get.
They can get all number 1s if they want. Whatever works best for their store. Like we were saying before we hopped on to the live stream, we gotta get these local comic book stores, treat them right, because these brick and mortar stores, they're small businesses, and if you get in good with them and vice versa, you have a good business relationship going forward.
Yeah, I agree. All right. And then we get into your stretch goals here.
Yeah, back to the question about promotion. So I have a local comic book writer to me. He hasn't put out a comic book yet. He made this 8-page ash can. He's like, man, I'll give this to you to use as a stretch goal reward if you just add it and you give it to your backers. I'm like,
Nice.
sounds good to me. So all physical backers are going to get an 8-page ash can of Joel's new comic book, his first comic book ever, called Cosmic Reading. Everyone's going to get a digital copy as well.
Nice.
Right on. Very cool.
Yeah, we also unlocked a magnet with the special effects of the main character's logo.
I love magnets.
The rear view mirror hanger. So that's
great.
That was the very last stretch goal for my previous campaign. So, and I had a lot less backers in that campaign. So I wanted to do this again and do it earlier, so more people would get that stretch goal reward. So they're all going to be a different number. No, they're all a unique number. And this time I'm going to sign and mark the year on every single one of them.
That's cool. I love stretch goals that have to do with the comic.
Yeah.
Like Travis in Broke Down,
he's really good at
did
that.
something with cars for every one.
We had the keychain, the air freshener. Yep.
Yeah.
Smart.
I think that's really cool to have something that like goes with.
Plus, I want someone to use it and park in a handicap parking spot, and it make the news, and then it promotes my stuff even more.
That's great.
Bumper stickers, the most recent one that got unlocked. I do have another one set. I didn't put the dollar amount yet, but it's going to be a print.
Nice.
Yeah.
Johnathan, is that bumper sticker die cut?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Nice.
That's sharp. I like it that way.
Yeah.
All right. So we only have 5 days left.
5 days. Yeah.
What I always like is the back books that I see that are fully funded, so I know I'm going to get a book. Because I haven't backed many that have failed, but it always is like when you're really looking forward to that and they just don't get it at the end. Man, I really wanted to read that.
So I know what you mean.
Let's come back here for. There we all are. I want to check some our comments since I was in there. See if anybody has. I figured out her soup. I don't know what that means.
It was from that the love interest.
Oh yeah.
He figured out Aaron's superpower.
Good.
All right.
Trish, yes, you can. The Freak Show Princess is actually available as an add-on in the Capable campaign. So if you want to back it there, and you could back the $3 digital reward or $1 add-on, and then you can get the Freak Show Princess. Add that on for like $10. That'll include the shipping as well.
But I'm sure Trish has already backed you on a much bigger level.
If so, thank you, Trish.
They buy direct and support the actual creators.
Well, I agree with that. Buy direct, especially if you're the comic book stores are buying directly from the creators as well. I tell people all the time, if you're not able to back my Kickstarter, contact your local comic book store and ask them to back me, because they might have more capital to get that retailer reward. Then they get my books at cost, and then you can buy it from them. And then 3 people win. You get the comic book, your comic book store makes money. I get my comic book out there. So yes, Mark, I agree with that.
All right.
Potentially
Well-
even more if another person picks it up at their store.
Yeah, you never
Yeah,
know who.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it could be you're going to sell copies to someone who doesn't even know who you are. I'm sure not all of Jonathan's friends made the recount be a sellout. It had to be in the stores, people buying it.
I bought them all. I
He
have.
did. Right off
it was all
camera.
me.
He's got cases of it. And he's going to get them all graded, and they're going to be on eBay at
Yeah.
9.8s.
Right. Signature series.
Autographed copies. Yep.
All right. Let me see. All right. Is Michael back?
I am back. I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
All right. I just wanted to make sure because you were the next one up, and I wanted to make sure you were here before I started talking to you.
Yeah, no, I had to go use the loo, and then my son had woken up from a nightmare, so I had to put him back down.
Oh.
So, yeah, he's going on 3, and so I think he might have had a little bit too much as far as dessert is concerned this evening, and so he was not in a happy mood when I put him down for bed, and then I saw him wandering around, and brought him back.
Oh.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead. Let me try see if I can do this once again.
Woo!
Make sure I get the right one up. There we go.
All right.
All right.
So, yeah, this is Elysian Fields, the deluxe edition. I had mentioned before that I'd launched 2 prior campaigns that we successfully funded. I did this on the Indiegogo platform for my comic Elysian Fields. And we got a lot of support on those books, but we had a whole bunch of people that reached out to me and asked me why I didn't do Kickstarter. And the simple answer is I suck with technology, and Indiegogo was so easy a caveman could do it. And when I went over to Kickstarter, it was very different, and I was having issues. So I finally, taught myself a bit of things and got this campaign going. We're doing pretty solid. We got 17 days left. We're 34% funded right now at 869 of a 2,500 goal. That's more than doable. This is the Elysian Fields, which, as I had mentioned before, is this underworld tournament that happens every 1,000 years. And we follow Achilles as he goes from death to peace in the afterlife, and then being ripped from that peace to fight in this tournament alongside other characters from Greek mythology, such as Theseus, Slayer of the Minotaur, and the founder of Athens, and Heracles, the son of Zeus and conqueror of the 12 labors. And together they are the team representing the Greek god of the dead, Hades. And we get to see them do a whole bunch of badass stuff in this underworld tournament. And the first leg of which we see them go up against Team Osiris, which is a champion by the name of Imhotep, and he has gone undefeated in the arena. We have a few digital tiers available for this, but the big things that we're bringing are, we had 3 main variant covers of Pyramid Gambit, which was our last book. So we have those available, and then to allow everybody a chance to have a print edition of the 0 issue as well as Pyramid Gambit, we created this deluxe edition. We had a hardcover version of it that was a limited exclusive run to the Indiegogo. So I made a soft cover edition of it for this campaign. And so you've got this beautiful cover by Scott Rosema, who just did a tremendous job on the art there. And between the 2 stories, you have 78 pages of story. You have an extensive art gallery filled with character concepts, variant covers, pinups, everything that we've had on our campaigns. And you also have a character glossary as well to make sure that, if you're not as familiar with mythology as you'd like to be, you kind of got a new starting point to go learn about these characters as well.
Nice. And as we can see from this first page, this is also for mature readers.
Yes. It's got the violence.
Yeah. So
but yeah, as I said, it's a big battle royale book, so lots of fighting, lots of displays of epic heroism and everything, and it's been a blast to do. And as I said, it came from this game that me and my nerdy friends would play as kids. So
there's the Digital Zero digital package.
And so every physical tier, obviously, as per most Kickstarters, everything kind of compounds with the exception of physical tiers. So like once you back one of the physical tiers, you'll also be getting the digital packages and everything. We don't have really too many stretch goals on this. The only stretch goal that we have is that if we end up hitting 5K, all the deluxe editions of the book will be holofoil.
Nice.
To really make Scott Rosema's cover pop even more. But the big thing was kind of to test our market. We've been pretty well established on Indiegogo, and we had a lot of requests to come to Kickstarter, and so we wanted to bring this over to Kickstarter, and really try and establish ourselves in this market. I fulfilled my 0 issue within 2 months of us funding the 0 issue on Indiegogo. So I'm somebody that you can trust to get the product out there. And we just got in the last pages of Pyramid Gambit, so I am going to be spending this weekend assembling the print file for all of that. So once this funds, I'll be going immediately into fulfillment stages as well.
That's always something good. Like I've always tried to have my projects 90% done before I do a campaign or anything, just so that people can know that it's, I'm sure all of you have been onto campaigns where it's years later and you still haven't got the book.
Yeah, no, and that's something that as someone like myself, right? I'm literally, this is my first year in this industry. I can't really afford to have that be my reputation.
Exactly.
It's all about getting as much content, as much quality content out there as humanly possible. And that's honestly our goal. Is like right now, with how the first 2 campaigns have done, the goal is to try and release 2 books per year. And so that's a big thing for me, is just making sure that we're able to fulfill in a timely manner. I kind of learned a lot from the mistakes I made from the 0 issue campaign, and so I created rules for myself as far as like when to launch. So like I don't we had that question about how to promote earlier, and so like for me, you can start pre-campaign as early as like initial concepts.
Mm-hmm.
And having like a cover, but I feel like for me personally, I don't feel comfortable starting a campaign unless I have about a quarter of the book's interior done at the very least. There are certainly some exceptions to the rule, but all in all, as Cara said, you need to kind of show that you have put in your own personal investment. And I feel that by having about a quarter of the book done, that means that you probably have at least 5 or 6 solid pages that you can put up for promotional material without having revealed everything. And that's enough to kind of draw people in. So that plays a big part in it as well.
Yeah. So you say we have like 17 days left. Go ahead and I'll have to share that link again. We can get that taken care of. Oh, excuse
I
me.
appreciate it.
Yeah, we'll share these all out again. But let me see if I can get us all back on here. There we go.
Woo!
I'm slowly learning this. It's all new to me.
So we're glad to be your guinea pigs.
Yeah. Oh, I
Hey
mean,
man,
I've been on and talked to
seriously-
myself for an hour or so. I've had maybe one other person on with me, but having everybody on, it gets kind of crazy. But
Dude, all the buttons are super distracting for me. You know, I've been on that chair before, and
Yeah.
it's just like you click one thing and everything just goes haywire. And now you're just trying to.
yeah, exactly. It's like-
Every time.
yeah. All right. See if we had. I think Trish left another comment. She said, "Sadly, we back a lot and can't catch them all. I write so many creators asking for copies after Kickstarter is over, and love PayPal and creators willing to help us get their comics." Speaking of which, Trish, you never messaged me yet, so I can get your address to send you those comics that we talked about.
Put the address in the comments so everyone can see it.
And then we all just
Yeah,
send
just
Trish
every.
We're all start mailing our books. There you go.
Of course.
And there's Mike. Hello, everyone. Was gaming kind of here now. Trish has me looking up Freak Show and a Kickstarter now. This
Well,
too.
if I can speak to Freak Show Princess real quick, if y'all don't mind, that's actually in a anthology that's in Diamond right now for your comic book stores to order called Mississippi Zombie 2. So that's actually a black and white version of Freak Show Princess that no one's ever seen before. So even if you have read Freak Show Princess, we got the color version. But if you want a black and white version and 5 other zombie stories, ask your comic book store to order Mississippi Zombie 2. But it's also available right now on Amazon and Barnes & Noble and all those other retailers. So, but support small business if you can. Mississippi Zombie 2. And then the follow-up Freak Show Night will be in Diamond next month.
That is awesome.
And then
Hashtag promoted.
There's Trish's address.
There's Trish's address for everybody.
Everybody get an envelope.
Start stuffing stuff and send to them.
Wow. 0 F's given. Damn.
She's like, I don't care. People can send me whatever they want. Just whatever you have, just send it. Oh man. All right. Well, there's one book we haven't talked about yet, and that's mine. I saved it for last. I didn't want to. I'm just going to go over it real quick because I'm sure everybody's heard my crap all the time. So I'm just going to show it real quick, and if I can find it because I didn't have it up. But maybe. Yep, see, I still have. Get out of there. No, it's like, nope, we're not going to let. There we go. Let me hide all my junk. All right. So this is Omni. It is a obvious superhero story. It is written by L.C. Holt, who some people might know. He was the GOAT. I always get this GOAT masked killer from the movie You're Next, which the WWE blatantly ripped his mask off to use for their Wyatt family. He was also in the movie VHS 2, and he's currently directing and starring in a New Year's Eve horror movie called Time's Up that they're filming right now. Actually, I posted an update on my Facebook earlier with some images from that movie. But we're still a little less than $1,000. I've been stuck here for the last 3 days, I think. I get a backer, lose a backer, get a backer, lose a backer. So I've been stuck like right at this spot for like 3 days. But Recently, I just added some new preview pages that have the lettering and all that good stuff. The issue 1 is pretty much your basic setup. It's where we are introduced to the characters. Pamela Eaton is the woman. She's like a news reporter. She'd be like our version of Lois Lane, and she is just interviewing Omni, and then you get his origin story. One of the things I really like about this story that I always try to push that Elsie did is, if you see here in the corner, this book called Mega. It actually plays a big part in the story throughout the 12 issues. Our main character, that was his favorite comic book. And as we go along, we've actually wrote the Mega issues that you'll see in the book. So as stretch goals, if we get that far, you'll actually get Mega #1. Now, this comic book takes place in 1979, and I'm actually have the artist draw the book. It's going to look like it's from the 70s. The whole cover and all the trade dress is going to look very 1979, like comic book style. So
That's very meta of you. I like it.
yeah,
That's awesome.
and then this is just goes through, as me and my friends used to call, the Borigin story, because most of the origin stories are kind of boring. But this was a new pledge level I dropped just this week. This cover was a Kickstarter exclusive from my failed campaign back in 3 years ago.
Your
Excuse
practice.
me?
We don't say that. Your practice campaign.
My practice campaign. Yes. But there's only one of these covers live in the world, and Travis Gibb owns it, and he gave me the okay to go ahead and use it again. But I just did a very limited run of 25 covers that'll be hand signed and numbered, and so and we had that for $25. And then the only backer goal we've unlocked so far was for the card set that I had talked about earlier. This is the first card, and all 3 cards are exclusive. Like, the art is original art, so it's not going to be found in any of the other in the books or anything. So the only way you'll be able to get that art is by backing at a physical level and getting that 3 card set. And that's just. And then, of course, I have the normal digital and physical, and I have a sketch cover. And then our first variant is by Greg Kimmett. I'm not sure if anyone's. He actually drew this sketch for me for our first campaign, and I had forgot about it. And as I was going through stuff to get this campaign ready, I found it. I had it inked, and then I went ahead and colored it. And that's we have this regular, we have a virgin cover, and then I have a black and white cover, which is done by Brian Curtis, who hates Facebook. I don't know, but he's a friend of mine. He hates like all social media, but he's also doing another comic for me, and he went ahead and drew this cover, and we used it. And so I kept all the trade dress black and white because I just think it looks cool to just be a complete black and white cover. And we also have the variant for that. Now this is a director's cut. It actually has a gatefold cover. It's going to be about 60 plus pages. It's going to have the normal comic book, and then the other 40 pages, I'm going to have the script and the line art like back to back, so you can see Elsie's script and how I take it and bring it to life, I guess. So, but then of course you have all your other crazy stuff. Here's a custom sketch cover that if you pledge at that level, I will go ahead and do a commission on the cover for you.
How many of those are available?
I tell you the truth, I don't even know if I limited it. I don't remember. I'm terrible. I told you I have no memory. My brain is like shot. I'll look really quick. Nope, I don't have any limit on it. If I sell 100 of them, I'm just going to have to do a lot of work.
Yeah, you're gonna be a busy man.
I dare you all to back that one.
It's a good problem to have.
Yeah, it would be.
And then, of course, we have the collector sets where you can get all the regular covers, all the Virgin covers. And then this is a tier where you can actually co-create a character that will be a reoccurring character. So it's not just a I'll draw you in kind of thing. This is actually a character that will be recurring in our comics. Now I have more than Omni. I have other comic books in the universe. So, but if you back here, you'll actually get there'll be a special 4-page story in the back of Omni that will introduce your character. I'll also draw a custom 11 by 17 hand-drawn art of your character, and then you also get like co-creator credits in any of the book that character shows up in. You'll get physical copies of the book, because I'll give you all the things. Plus, you get all the other crap: the print, the bookmark. I actually have the upper tiers. There's a 3-card special 3-card trading card set that isn't available. It's aside from those original 3 cards. So these will be like a subset card, if you back in the higher ones. And then for add-ons, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, people don't realize, like you mentioned about people can have their, can opt in and have like their own character and their name is in there. And what they don't realize is when you have that credit on someone's book. So if you're not a creative yourself and you want to, help out with these things, guess what? You are now credited in that book, which means you can now qualify as a professional when it comes to Comic Cons. You can put in professional badges and those professional perks.
Yeah. I mean, so it's more than just, oh, look, I helped to make this character that's in this comic book. You also got to understand, we already have, L.C. Holt is a director. He makes movies. He writes movies. He's the writer on this book. If he decides to make this into a movie and your character shows up in the movie, guess what? So, it isn't just in the comic book. Who knows where it could go in the future? So that's something I always try to push. It's not just a little comic book that's on Kickstarter.
That's right.
And then I have it so you can buy the director's cut separately if you've already backed in another. And I just show a little bit here. It's like page 13 of the book, how you'll get the regular, the script, and the line art. And I also have a T-shirt for an add-on, and that's about it. So, like I said, we are just under 3 weeks away. I still need about $900, a little under $1,000 left to get that funded. So
That's very doable.
Yeah,
I
you
hope
got
so.
this, man. You're gonna do it.
Oh yeah, big time. 20 days.
Yeah. It's been stuck, but of course, obviously, most Kickstarters get that little time in the middle where they decide to.
The
No one wants to
plateau.
back it.
Yeah, every campaign hits a mid campaign plateau.
And that's one
it.
reason why I asked Brian why his was so long, because what I've always been told, the longer your campaign, the longer that dead period's going to be.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
It's definitely something that's a lot more manageable on the Indiegogo side, because you can actually, one of the things that I really liked about using the Indiegogo on Pyramid Gamut in particular is the big thing that you can do is you set your initial campaign for 30 days and then you can extend it to the full 60. So you effectively have 2 ending dates on the campaign where the algorithm helps promote your book on that final day and sends out emails to everyone that's subscribed and everything to let them know that the campaign is ending. Nice. So you get to kind of double down on that. But on Kickstarter, yeah, it's definitely one of those things where if you're doing that 60-day time period, I did it because I didn't have the base on Kickstarter really, and while I was promoting, I had other stuff going on that I probably should have stopped the campaign and went took a pause to relaunch. But I mean, I already had a solid amount of backers, so I figured press on. And we're getting there, and I think that we're going to do it.
Yeah.
But
now you can also do Kickstarter, and then when you're done with Kickstarter, you can roll it over into Indiegogo. So Indiegogo will take
true.
the ones that you made from Kickstarter and put it over onto theirs, and it's called In Demand. And I've done that a few times, and it's okay, but you're on your own. Like, I found that they don't promote you, like you don't get shit from them. Like, you're on.
So the big trick about that is that when you go over on In Demand with them, unless you already have like an established base over there and they're hitting your and they're hitting you up for sales and what have you, it's honestly just a better idea. Nandor Fox Schaefer went from Kickstarter to Indiegogo, and he just launched a separate Indiegogo, and I think that was the smart move. And the reason for that is Indiegogo's algorithm really benefits by you having like a flex goal and everything so that they can track it.
Yeah.
Because every single time you hit 100% of your goal, they promote. You get pushed to the front of their page and everything like that. And so like that's how that works. So I think that it's a nice idea because you are able to keep your Kickstarter effectively open as an online storefront and filter in people that might have missed your Kickstarter to go over there, and you can just kind of leave that open indefinitely so long as you have one sale per month, I think is Indiegogo standard. But otherwise, if you are going on the Indiegogo platform, it makes a lot more sense if you just set up your own campaign.
Right.
Yeah. I have no idea about Indiegogo. I've gone over there to look at some people's stuff, but I haven't even attempted to even put anything.
It really just depends. Some people do very, very well on Indiegogo. I did my first chunk of campaigns all on Indiegogo because I didn't feel that Kickstarter was really going to do much for cosplayers, and that was my own fear in regards to that. But it's like, okay, so with Indiegogo, your tiers have photos, and I love that you can put a photo in. I hate that it's a landscape photo. We're comic books. We're this way, not this way. So you can do graphics for everything. You can't just put an image. So there is that. Indiegogo also has their add-ons, but because they can literally go forever, you're kind of screwed on stretch goals if you sell out. So you kind of got to, stretch goals are a little odd. You got to kind of like either limit them or be like a while supplies last kind of a thing. Kickstarter has an advantage because they are huge for comics. Now, some people, what they would do is and with Indiegogo, if someone pays, their money comes out right away. And some people like that. They don't want to wait until Kickstarter and, have to hold on to that money until that final day of the campaign. So Indiegogo takes your money right away, but you have 10 days to cancel it. So if you get that order on Indiegogo and you've already funded your campaign and shipped everything out, and this is a later order and you send it out, they still can cancel. So you got to wait that 10 days. And then you feel like kind of a dick because, you didn't send them their stuff, but you got to wait that 10 days.
That's a yes and no, because you can actually lock the purchase now as a creator. So if once
you send it out, you can lock it so they can't request it.
Yeah, exactly. Once you start fulfillment for that thing, it doesn't matter how soon they've placed it. If you've got it into an envelope and you're shipping it, you can lock the order, and they aren't able to, like, if they hit, like, refunds at that point would be if they hit you up and asked for a refund, whether it was they weren't pleased with the product or they overextended themselves on their budget, this, that, the other. Like, that would be the only way that they could do it once it's been locked. But like, as I said, once you're sending that stuff out and you've got everything in the envelopes and ready to go, you can just lock everything, and that does that. Like, that does the same thing.
That's good to know. I didn't know that. Now, another thing Indiegogo I like, and I think some people do like, they put their address in right away. With Kickstarter, if they don't fill out their survey, you don't know who they are.
Yeah.
So now, with that being said, you can use CrowdOx or BackerKit, and people can go and purchase extra things through there. stuff from wherever you want. You don't have to limit it to the campaign. You can fill that to the brim and people can add on and buy extra cool stuff from you. And that's where they get their address and everything that goes in. So I like that, but I also like with Indiegogo that you can, you know, just get their address and have it. And you don't have to hunt people down.
100%. And like there are definitely pluses and minuses to each platform. Kickstarter is definitely better as far as the networking thing is concerned. Every project you back and you know, all of your friends can see, and vice versa, and that it really allows for that interconnectivity of networking a lot better. And so I think that that's one of its biggest strengths. And then, you know, Cara, you already mentioned it, the way that Indiegogo handles keeping track of addresses and everything. It makes that whole process a lot easier, and you're able to download spreadsheets directly from Indiegogo and put them into anything like stamps.com or pirate ship or whichever shipping method that you use, and that's pretty seamless.
Now, you brought up Pirate Ship. I got to tell you, for you creators that do not know about Pirate Ship, I love Pirate Ship.
Oh, they're fantastic. No, they're absolutely brilliant.
And
I use them for the Zero issue.
I get ads from them on Facebook constantly, so
they're good.
Yeah.
I'm pretty excited because I was and this is one of those things that only a comic creator would get excited about. Is we're having a limited tier on the Embrace, where I'm having the entire creative team signed 10 copies of the book, and the majority of the creative team lives in Australia. Mm-hmm. So I went and I did the math on everything, and sending a 12 by 9 by 2 mailer to Australia with the approximate weight of 10 comic books was still $26. And like I know that sounds steep, but like that's literally the same cost that I had for a Gemini mailer sending comics out international. So like the fact that that's literally like 3 times, like a considerable amount times the size of a Gemini mailer with 1 or 2 books, and it's still only at 26. I was pretty happy.
Well, and you can actually message them and they'll get back to you. Oh, and it's so cool when you chat with them because they come back with like arg and they like totally talk at you like a pirate. But you can ask them about a discounted rate for overseas, and they will go in and change your settings to give you a discounted overseas rate.
That's actually really cool. I did not know that, and I'm going to be checking that out.
And that's one of those things that like I found out from a friend who found out, you know, it's kind of like the rave of comic book shipping. Oh my gosh, we're such nerds.
But that's exactly why panels like this are so useful to creators.
Oh yeah.
Shipping is the bane of any creator's existence, because it's the one part of cost that is like
always forgot.
So unpredictable, because depending on how things are going around the world will affect the shipping rates to certain things. And then on top of that, it's also the whole thing of, oh my God, please don't get returned to sender from like I sent this thing out to
I got one from overseas. I got it the other day, and we'd been messaging him because he never picked it up, and then he emailed me today, and I'm like,
you have to pay for extra shipping now. I got it back.
I had to send this poor lady her comic book 3 times to Denmark, and we had the right address and everything, and it was just literally her postman just didn't feel like delivering it. And so it got sent back to me twice, and she finally like went and went to her like local post office and chewed them out. And so like the 3rd time it got there all right, I was like, oh my goodness.
Wow.
I felt so bad because like she was in the first wave of shipping for the Zero issue, so like everyone had their books by this point, and I was just like, oh.
Okay, Mike has a question. He says, so I would guess the world of Omni it's got all the normal supers masterminds, mutants, and magic. Actually, no. In our story, Omni is the world's first superhero. So it'd be like if someone today in this world got superpowers. So it's really about how he reacts to getting powers and how the world reacts to him. Because if you just think about it, you're going to have people who would think he's a god and want to worship him. You're going to have other people who are afraid to death of him. Like, what's this person going to do? And then you got people like Donald Trump, who was going to want to use him as a weapon somehow. So, it's really how the world sees this superhero. I will let in a little throughout the series. This is a 12-issue maxi series. We will see other super-powered beings. But at the beginning, Omni is the very first one. For some reason, people like to wait till the last couple of days to commit. I never understood that. Oh, you mean like to a Kickstarter or whatever? Yeah, I don't.
Yeah, it's literally just procrastination.
Yeah, they're like, I wanted to back this.
It's innate human laziness is literally like what I've found. Is it's okay, or they want to be a part of like the hype train to get it funded. It's usually one of the two.
Yeah.
Like if a book's having issues getting funded and it's on like the last few days, they'll go and they'll back and they'll make sure everyone they know backs and they'll be a part of that hype train to get it there. Or it'll just be like, oh crap, I forgot that this was here. I've been meaning to do this for the past like few weeks. And I would be lying if I said that didn't happen to me like multiple times, where I'd be like, oh shit, there's only 2 days left in this campaign.
I better get on it. Yeah.
I've been looking at this for weeks and be like, oh, I'll back that next time I can. And then I just go.
On my launch, my stream, when I launched it, I had one of my friends come on and he's like, oh, drop the link. I'll go back it. And then later it's like, oh, I'll have to do it a little bit later on. I don't have my wallet. Well, like this Monday I was on a
you don't need your wallet. It's all good.
I know. Monday I was like, Dan, you still haven't backed my book. You're supposed to come right back and do it. Like, yeah, I was like, well, you're lucky. You got 3 weeks left. All right. I'll make sure every Monday between now and then I bug you about it. Mark, I sent a package to Cara, and her letter carrier kept sending it back to me 3 times.
Yeah.
That's a.
She just didn't want your package, Mark. Can't you understand? She didn't want your package.
I had to rebuild my relationship with my letter carrier, and for a while it was like, just give it to me. I don't care what name is on the package. Just give it to me.
Oh, one of those. Like, I'll get things, that have my professional name on it, and the mailman always writes a question mark after it. I was like, dude, it's the same last name. Like, dude, if
it has the address, just drop it off here.
Yeah.
You don't have a problem doing it with spam.
But I know he drops off other mail that isn't even our name. It'll be like a totally different family's name, and no problem dropping that off. But God forbid the first name be different. We can't drop that off.
Oh, God. Gotta love the postal system.
Just give it to me.
For Trish and me, sometimes we are waiting because we have to be sure we have the money to cover what comes out that 2 weeks between checks. I will tell you, when I back a Kickstarter, I really look to see when it ends because I live on disability. So I try to back things to end the last week or the first week, of the month. So I know I'm going to have money to pay for it.
Oh, that's completely understandable. I usually try to make sure that it's like, okay, I get paid like that week. So like even if I don't necessarily have the money right then and there, I'll be able to update the payment within a day.
Yeah.
So that it takes out.
Now remember, all you creatives out there that are backing other people's Kickstarter campaigns, it could be considered a tax deduction.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, because it's market research.
Oh. Well,
right.
no wonder Trish and Mike back everything. It's a big tax write-off at the end of the year.
Well, it's mainly if you're a creator yourself. If they're making books, then because it's market research. You're actively researching your quote unquote competition. Because as much as we're all friends in this community, we're also, to a lesser extent, the direct competition to one another. Like everyone wants each other to do well, and everybody's kind of writing in different subgenres and everything like that. But at the end of the day, we're all each independent agents. And so learning from each other is how we improve and get to the next level, right? So like that's what it is. And like that's what I plan on doing. Is I think on Indiegogo I've backed 50 plus campaigns, and on Kickstarter I've backed over 30 just in the year 2020, and I'm taking all of those receipts and using them for tax deductions, tax write-off for Nine Realms Publishing when I go and do my taxes this year.
And 2020 is a really hard year because normally you'd be able to deduct your tables, your flights, your hotels, your food, all this stuff from conventions. You don't have conventions now. Back Kickstarter.
And the best part, I get these notes from the tax company. You haven't paid your sales tax for this quarter. Well, I haven't been at a con to make any money to pay the tax.
And that's another big thing with Pirate Ship, is that you have all of the receipts effectively for all of your shipping, which is again a business expense. I made sure to keep my gas receipts because for all the local backers that lived near me for Elysian Fields, I hand delivered their books. So all of the gas that I used to drive around and do that, that's deductible. That was a work expense. Any trip that you took to a comic store to try and promote, like keep track of any books you may have given out to a comic book store, if it was free, that's a tax deduction because it's promotion. So
just make sure you check your own local ordinances, because like I know here in Arizona, if you don't turn a profit within 5 years, then it's considered a hobby and not considered something. There's other states where it's 10 years, so keep an eye on that as well. But you know, you still need the deductions.
Yeah, this year especially.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of people don't understand that.
We're gonna wind down. We've been here for 2 hours. I don't know. Us on the East Coast, it's like 11 o'clock at night, and I'm an old guy, so I'm way past my bedtime. But we're just gonna head around. I'm gonna just pick one of you. Just let us know where we can find you, your stuff, and then we'll just exit you out one by one. So we're gonna start with I guess Johnathan, because he's been kind of quiet today. And
that's how I normally am. That's just my modus operandi. But yeah, you can follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Johnathan Hedrick, Hedrick. So
not Hendrick.
Not Hendrick. There's a billion ways to spell Jonathan as well. I have a cursed name, but that's all. It's all good. Yes, and Capable live on Kickstarter for the next 5 more days. Thank you for having me on, the opportunity to promote it. And it's a pleasure to be on this panel with all of you, and good luck with the rest of your campaigns as well.
Great to meet you, John.
Thank you, John.
Thanks so much, man. Good to meet you as well.
All right, let's go to Michael. Go ahead, Mike.
I'm Michael Oden. Thanks for having me on. You guys can follow me on Twitter at ElysianFields_0. And on Facebook, you can follow me on Nine Realms Publishing Facebook. We have our Kickstarter for Elysian Fields, the deluxe edition, going on for an additional 17 more days. We're 34% funded, which is closer than you can possibly imagine. I know that seems like a jump, but I've seen crazier things happen in 17 days. And I believe that we've got a book out here that you guys will enjoy. So any way that you can share back, whatever you can do, I'd love your support. And we also have the mailing list up on Indiegogo for The Embrace, which is our dark superhero take inspired by things like The Crow and Haunt. And so we hope to see all of you guys on at least one Nine Realms project here in the future. Thanks for having me on.
I just wanted to ask you, is that what the character is? Because now that you're like bigger, I can see what it is. The character
that is, we were very fortunate to get the Barton brothers to do a variant cover for The Embrace. And they kicked its ass. They did a phenomenal job on it. It's really, really fantastic stuff. And we're really excited to get this book out.
All right, well, thank you for stopping by the Hangout. Be sure to check out your book. I shared the link, and get ahead and try to get that funded for you.
Thanks so much, guys.
Good to see you, Mike.
All right. And Cara, we can find you everywhere.
You can find me everywhere as AZ Power Girl, as in like Arizona Power Girl. And yeah, I'm on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. Personal page is Cara Nicole. And my fan page is AZ Power Girl. I'm super easy to find. And message me, follow me, friend me. I'm very social because I'm very lonely. So yeah, you can find me everywhere. Find me on Kickstarter as well. And check out my other books. I've got Fire Bitch, but I also have Confessions of a Cosplay Diva that came out last year, and my calendar for 2021.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thank you for having me.
It was great talking to you. Have a good night. Of course, it's early in your night. You still got...
It's 9. I'm ready to go. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. And that leaves one.
Great, thanks. Again, this is Brian Menard from Dojo Kun Comics. The Kickstarter we've got going on right now is Janice Hardy's The Healing Wars Book 1, The Shifter. It's a lofty goal, but we think we can do it, and you won't be disappointed. It's a lot of pages, covers her whole novel, but we're looking forward to getting that out there to you. You can find us on dojokuncomics.wixsite.com/dojokuncomics. You can find me on Facebook at Dojo Kun Comics, and on Twitter, it's at BD Menard.
Went ahead and shared that. I'm going to back that here once we get off, because I have this thing. If I have someone on my show, I back their stuff.
Definitely appreciated. Thanks so much for having me on. It's been great to meet the other creators, and you as well.
Yeah, you too. And have a good night. I know we're both the old men that was on the show. It's I'll talk to you later.
Okay, take care.
Good night, Don. Thanks. All right, and that leaves me, JW Sims. You can find me obviously here on my Facebook page, on Twitter at JWSims34. I have an Instagram where I share my art. That is at Hooligan_Alley_cosplay, because I'm actually a cosplayer as well. And my Instagram was originally set up for that. But since we haven't had any cons in a year, I started showing all my art. But you can go ahead and back Omni on Kickstarter. I think we have 20 days to go. Just under, we're like 62% funded. So you can get that taken care of. You can get some awesome stretch goals. And next week we'll be here. I have a couple more guests lined up. Being an old man and not having my notes with me, I can't remember who they are offhand, but I guarantee we're going to have fun and just act like a bunch of hooligans. Have a good night. Get out there and read some comics, and talk to you later. Bye-bye.